Right after Solomon tells us where wisdom begins, he does something surprising. He doesn't jump into abstract principles. He gives us a scene, a father, pleading with his son, and a gang, waiting in the shadows. Two voices calling out to the same young man, one offering ornaments of gold, the other offering a trap dressed up as adventure. This is Proverbs 1:8-19, and it's one of the most practical warnings in the entire book. Here's Proverbs 1, verses 8-19, from the ESV, with Yahweh restored in place of the Lord. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head, and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive, and whole, like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird. These men set an ambush for their own lives. Notice how this section opens. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching. The Hebrew word for instruction here is musar. It's not casual advice. It carries the weight of discipline, of formative correction. And Torah, the mother's teaching, is the same word used for the Torah itself. Law, direction, a path marked out. It was transmitted at the table on the road in daily life, from parent to child. Solomon is saying, this instruction is not optional decoration, it's your protection. That's why he immediately follows with a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Wisdom described as jewelry, something visible, valuable, worn with honor. Not hidden, not shameful. A crown, but then the tone shifts hard. Verse 10. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. The Hebrew word for entice, patah, means to be seduced, persuaded away from your senses. This isn't a stranger with a weapon. This is peer pressure dressed up as brotherhood, dressed up as opportunity. Look closely at what the ambush actually offers. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Not survival, not necessity. Greed. The Hebrew word betsa, unjust gain. Profit stolen from someone else's loss. Here's what's remarkable about this passage. Solomon doesn't just say don't do evil because it's wrong. He shows why it's self-destructive, even on its own terms. In vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird. These men lie in wait for their own lives. Verse 18 makes it explicit. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. This is the Hebrew concept of middah keneged middah, measure for measure. The very violence they intend for others becomes the trap that consumes them. This is the natural harvest of the path they chose, and verse 19 delivers the summary verdict. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Not might take away, takes away. Solomon is describing a law as certain as gravity. Greed doesn't just risk your life, it consumes it, one compromise at a time. You may not be facing literal highway robbers, but this passage is describing a pattern as alive today as it was 3,000 years ago. Come with us. The invitation to cut corners, to join the scheme, to get in on something that promises fast reward. It shows up as the coworker who says, everyone does this, just fudge the numbers. The friend circle pulling you toward a lifestyle you know is corrosive. The investment that promises returns too good to be reasonable. The relationship where someone frames control and manipulation as loyalty. The pattern is always the same. Quick gain, dressed as camaraderie, hiding a trap. And here's the piece we skip past too quickly. Solomon says the antidote isn't willpower alone. It's remembering your father's instruction. It's having already internalized a foundation before the temptation arrives, so that in the moment, you recognize the voice for what it is. This is why the fear of Yahweh from verse 7 matters here. When your foundation is reverence for something greater than your own appetite, you can hear, come with us, we'll all share the purse, and recognize it instantly. So here's your question today. What voice is inviting you to come along right now? What shortcut, What scheme, what circle is promising fast reward while quietly asking you to compromise? The wise hear the invitation and hold back their foot. Because some paths only look like they lead to gain, they actually lead to ambush.